Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is the model we are going to be transforming today. I hope you learn one or two things from this tutorial and I hope you like the look. Please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done that yet, like, and also leave a comment. Love you. First off, I went on with my classic eyeshadow primer and I'll be using that on her eyelid. I'll just be using this to set her eye to get her eye ready for the eyeshadow. And if you notice, I am using a different finger to blend the eyeshadow, so to avoid crease once I apply my eyeshadow. Right now, I'll be using my Clever Cat eyeliner in color 1, and I'll be using this as an eyeshadow today because we want to achieve a smoky eyeshadow look. So I want her eyeshadow to be very dark black actually. So I'll just be tapping a lot of that eyeliner on her eyelid. Once I'm done with that, I went in with this classic 45 eyeshadow palette and I'll be going in with that black shade. I'll just be using that to blend everything, and I'll also be tapping it on her eyelid and making sure everything is blended. Then I went on to do the same thing to the other eye.
Open up, you OPN, bitch you won't BBM, we should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda, request my chariot to get ya.
Once I was done with the eyeshadow, I went on to clean those fallout on her face using my face wipe for this. And I'll just be cleaning those fallouts on her face to get her face ready for the foundation. And right now I'm using my Usher bronzer and I'll just be applying a little bit of that on her eyebrow bone. And then I went in with my Stay Matte primer, and for our foundation I'll be using the Maybelline Superstay foundation, but then I added a little LA Pro concealer in mahogany just to make the color suitable for her skin because I don't have the exact foundation for her color. So right now I'm just blending the foundation and I'll be using my beauty blender for this. Like I said before, if you've seen any of my makeup video, I always like applying foundation first on one side of the face before I go to the other side, and then before I go finally to the forehead. So guys, if you want to get a very detailed tutorial of how I draw my brows, I'm going to be leaving a link to that video at the description box down below. And also if you want to know how I fix my lashes, a very simple and easy way of how I fix my lashes, I'm also going to be leaving a link to that video at the description box down below. So guys, one secret to makeup is to blend and blend. After that, I went in with my face spray and I use that to spray her face. Then for her concealer, I'll be using the LA Pro concealer. I'm not sure of the shade right now, but I'm going to be leaving the exact shade I use at the description box down below. I just applied this under her eyes. I'm also going to be applying on the bridge of her nose, on her forehead, and also under her lips, more like her jaw, I guess. So guys, I'm going to be telling you a secret to LA Pro concealer. If you're using LA Pro concealer as your concealer, after applying the concealer on your face, you don't want to blend it immediately. You want to wait for a while, more like a minute or so, before you blend. You just want to allow the concealer to dry a little bit before you start blending. This is what I always do when I'm using my LA Pro concealer. But if I apply my LA Pro concealer on my forehead, I blend the one on the forehead almost immediately. I don't wait like how I wait for that under her eyes and for the bridge of her nose. For the forehead, I just blend it immediately, but for those under her eyes and for the bridge of her nose and any other place I apply my pro concealer, I'm going to wait for a while to allow it dry a little bit before I blend. If you notice, I am using my brush to blend, and for the inner corners of her eyes, I'll be using my beauty blender. Just for those parts that the brushes could not meet, I'll be using my beauty blender to blend it. Right now I went in with my Sacha Butter cup, and I'll just be using that to set the concealer.
Open up, you open up.
I also use the Sacha Butter cup to do a reverse contour on her face. Then for her contour, I'm going to be using my Girl Pro Concealer in Mahogany, and I'm just going to be applying this at the side of her cheek, on her forehead, and also little, like very little on her nose. After that, I'm going to be using my brush to blend the contour. So guys, if you want me to do like a very detailed tutorial of a highlighter and a contour look, like how you do your highlighter and your contour, please let me know at the comment section down below, and I'm going to be glad to do a video just for that. So for her lips, I'll be using my classic eye pencil, and I'll just be using this to line her lips.
Open up, you open up. Bitch, you won't be
Right now I went in with this Jackelin Nude shade for her lips, and I'll just be applying that on her lips, more like the inner corners that I did not apply the pencil, and I'll just be blending that with my lip brush. After that, I went in with this light pink shade, and I just used that directly on her lips, like on the middle side of her lips, and I just used my lip brush to tap that on her lips just to blend it. Then I went in with my Absolute lip gloss, and I'll be applying that on her lips. Once I was done with the lips, I went on to wipe those excess powder on her face, and I'll be using my powder brush to do that. After that, I went in with this white eyeliner, which I can't remember the name. I'm going to be leaving the name at the description box down below, and I'll just be using that to line her eyes. Then I went in with this eyeshadow palette from the Juvia, and I'm going to be smacking that underneath her eyes. So right now I went back in with my Usher bronzer, and I'll just be using that at the inner corners of her eyes. Then I went on to set the contour using my Zikal face kit, and using the very dark shade on the palette. I'll just be using that to set the contour applied on her face. So right now I asked her to smile a little so those cheekbones can come out, and we're using my Usher bronzer. I'll be applying that on her cheekbone, taking it a little bit to her forehead. Then I'm also going to be applying it on the bridge of her nose, on her lips, and also directly on the forehead. Right now I went in with my classic mascara, and I'll be using that on her lower lashes. After that, I went in with my Zikal face kit, and I'll be using the ebony shade as a powder shade. I'll just be applying this all over her face just to blend everything, and also on her neck. So guys, this is all for this look. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned one or two things from this. Please do not forget to hit the subscription button if you haven't done that yet. Also to give this video a thumbs up, like, yes, comment, and also share. And if you want to get a detailed tutorial of how I draw my brows and also how I apply my lashes, please, I'll be leaving a link to that video at the description box down below, so please check that out, and I'm very sure you will love it. Thank you all so much again. I love you. Mwah.
open up. You OPN,